In this case study, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how in the last 30 days I was able to do $850,000 in revenue with a profit margin of 20% with dropshipping in 2026. I'm going to be guiding you through the entire strategy from start to finish, and I'm even going to show you how we were able to do a 10K profit day. I'll try to leave absolutely no stone unturned, so after this video you will know exactly what to do in 2026. As you can see, the highest we even went to was a 40K day, and this is in the last 30 days. This store is obviously still running, and this store has been running for the past 2 years. But let's start with the hardest question. Is dropshipping dead? Because if you browse around on YouTube and you type in how to start dropshipping in 2026, there's going to be literally 1,000 different strategies to choose from. And I have been dropshipping since 2020, and I'm still dropshipping in 2026. And I can say with confidence that most of the stuff that's out there on YouTube is completely outdated. What we used to do in 2020, which would work like a charm, was have an ugly ass Shopify store, as you can see right here, with absolutely no branding, filled with general products, just like this gimmicky cat toy, which of course your cat would enjoy, but this is just not a scalable product in 2026. We would run in EU markets, which would work back then, and we would focus only on Facebook ads. This is how you would dropship a couple of years ago, but not today. Because so much has changed. Dropshipping obviously is not dead. The way we dropship, however, has completely changed. How we do it right now in 2026 to actually be successful and to make a lot of money every single day of the year is by doing the following. First of all, we focus on selling health, beauty, and gadgets. The closer your product is to actually solving a physical pain, the easier your product will be to sell. And these three niches, health, beauty, and useful gadgets, as I wrote it down right here, the pain points that these products solve are the closest to actual physical pain. This triggers the most amount of emotions in your buyer, and it makes it the easiest to understand for your buyer, which makes it the easiest for you to make money from it. Now, versus using a Shopify store like we used to do back in 2020, these days we use funnels via Funnelish. This is essentially what a funnel looks like, and it is a one product branded page that completely revolves around your product that you're selling, which makes every single product that you sell look like the main brand of the product that you're selling it as. This of course increases trust massively, it reduces friction, it increases conversion rate. All of these three means you're making more money, and that's about it. I'm gonna go way more in depth on how these funnels actually look, why they work, and how you can make them yourself in a later moment in this video. But just know that this is the way to go, as well as advertorials. Now, instead of testing 5 to 10 products a day like we used to, we currently test around 1 to 2 products every day on our funnel dropshipping stores. The reason for that is because the quality is just that much higher. The thinking behind every funnel is also way higher. And that means with way less testing, we will find way more winners. And the winners that we find are also just 5 times more scalable than anything you could find on a Shopify store. Now, not only are we active in European markets, but recently we're also active in worldwide markets, again increasing our scale. What has changed about the ad strategy is that we now also focus not only on Facebook ads, but also on Pinterest ads. More on that in a later part of the video. But this is a beautiful example of a funnel store, a funnel dropshipping store that I found online. These guys are selling a permanent hair removal spray, as you can see. This is just one funnel page on their store. But as you can see, this one funnel page looks like the main homepage, the main branded page of this product. It looks fully branded, although it isn't. It is just a dropshipping product. It is just a dropshipping store. However, your customer will not notice that it is, while on this store, they obviously will. But before we dive deep into how a funnel looks and how you can make a funnel yourself, I first have to give you an overview of this entire strategy, and we have to start from the absolute beginning. Why would someone buy a random product that they can also buy on Amazon for cheaper? It didn't really click with me. I couldn't understand how this worked. I had no idea who is on the other side of the order. Who is my customer? What do they look like? And why are they buying from me? And before we can go any further into the strategy, you have to understand who is buying from you. And this is exactly who is buying from you. And this is just an example, but I went scrolling through the comments on my ads, and I saw a comment of this woman, Sandra. And I looked at her profile, and this is what it looked like. Sandra, 55 years old. She clearly has a Facebook addiction because her profile was full of shared posts, liking everything, giving her opinion on every tiny little bullshit, commenting on posts, hating, loving, and of course, pictures of her cat. This person probably has some insecurities and pain points. What's especially important to know about our customers is that they kind of have a Facebook addiction. These are people who either still have a job but don't work that often anymore because they are close to retirement age, or they are already retired and they have a nice pension sitting in their bank account. What do these people like to do? They like to scroll Facebook day in and day out. And of course, because they are so bored, they also like to just impulsively buy products, especially a product that solves their biggest pain points, which is why we focus in health, beauty and gadgets. So now that you know who our customer is and why they buy, we now have to find a product to sell to them. And it's very easy to find a product to sell to them. You just have to know where to look. And that is where a spy tool comes in. And you have multiple of these spy tools. There's so many of them out there. You have Minia, you have Afterlip, you have Get Hooked. My personal preference goes to Afterlip and Get Hooked. Minia is very good as well. Minia is a little bit more beginner friendly. But what is a spy tool? What do these tools do? A spy tool is a collection of active ads that are running on Facebook. So every single ad that runs on Facebook gets filtered by these spy tools. And then you can go on these spy tools and look at what is working for your competitor dropshippers. So you can find something that works for someone else and then just sell it yourself. That's the easiest way to find a high potential product. You're not gonna scour Google, scour Amazon, do 5 hours of research before finding a product to sell. No, you just use one of these spy tools. Links to these spy tools are in the description, by the way. But I was doing some research earlier before this video, and this is what I found. A very relevant ad which says 40 plus skincare talk. So this is literally talking to Sandra right here. I'm sure Sandra would love to look younger as Sandra is aging. And this ad right here immediately speaks to her because it literally says 40 plus skincare talk. Dermatologists are raving about this one-step solution to get radiant, younger looking skin with this micro-infusion system. Trusted by experts, backed by clinical studies, no complicated routines, just real results. And then here we can see in the headline, it says why women over 45 are ditching their, I have no idea what the rest says. I just know this is an anti-aging product that talks to women over 40 years old. Bing, bing, bing. Exactly what we're looking for. What I also saw is that the first time this ad was seen was 9 months ago, and that the last time this ad was seen was 3 days ago. So an ad that has been online for such a long amount of time obviously is printing some money. So it now does not only follow our criteria of who we're selling to, but it's also validated by a competitor. So if we then take a look at their website, this is what we're landing at. They have really branded it very properly. I do think they also have custom packaging. But besides that, we are seeing a product that probably doesn't cost a lot of money to buy, but they are selling it for 130 euros. How are you able to do this? Well, because it solves such a huge pain point in someone's life. Look younger, without Botox, without crazy surgeries, for just a one-time payment of 130 euros. I wanted to know how much profit these guys are making, and I wanted to obviously know how much profit I can make from this, and I went to look for the product on AliExpress, and this product is only 30 euros on AliExpress. It is not exactly the same, it is kind of the same. It's also a micro needling thing, and I honestly don't even have any clue of how it's supposed to be used, but I just know that a similar product is about 30 euros, meaning they probably make around 100 euros in profit per sale, which is massive. Now, of course, these guys have custom packaging. They are doing a little bit more of a branded approach, which is why their pricing can be higher than ours, but still lots of room for profit. Now, before you panic about AliExpress, I'm never ever gonna ship or sell anything from AliExpress. I'm just using it to compare pricing because I know that the pricing on AliExpress is about or a little bit above what I can expect from my private supplier. Now, who is my private supplier who I've worked with for more than 5 years and with who I have shipped more than 100,000 orders? Well, you have to pay me to find out. No, of course not. It is Dropshipping Lite. So these are the guys that I've been working with. I'm not receiving a single dollar in referral fee from this. This is just me sharing value to you so you can start dropshipping the easy mode, unlike my journey has been. But this is Dropshipping Lite. I've been using them for 5 years and you can use them too. However, their minimum order quantity is around 5 to 10 orders a day. And if you're a complete beginner, obviously you don't have 5 to 10 orders a day. So then you should use either one of these two, Sourceinbox or Zendrop, because there you can fulfill from 1 order a day. Obviously their pricing is going to be a little bit higher. But after you are doing 10 orders a day, switch to Dropshipping Lite. This would be my recommendation. There are hundreds of suppliers out there, but these are the best guys in the game, in my opinion. But now that you kind of understand who we are selling to and what types of products we're looking for, let's quickly find a product together so you fully understand this whole process. So I'm just gonna go to Afterlip because this is one of my favorite tools. And there's a bunch of filters to play around with. There are too many filters to even be used. I'm just gonna show you one method how I use Afterlip, but there's of course many more methods. But the quickest method to find products that we are looking for is by doing the following. First, you go to technology and you filter by Funnelish. Then you go to all filters, you click on EU ads filter, audience reach, and you set it to a minimum of 10,000. What this means essentially is that all the ads that we're gonna see now have a minimum reach of 10,000. And this is for us proof that our competitor is spending some money on it and that it's profitable for them. And then the last filter, which is also a very important one, is the creation date. We do not want our ad to be created longer than 1.5 months ago, because then there's a very high chance that too many people have already tested this ad or this product. So 1.5 months ago is around the 1st of December until the 12th of January, which is today. And now we're gonna see a bunch of ads that we still have to filter through. Now I like to test anything that has a reach of 10K plus. And this is where you can see the reach right here. As you can see, this one has 80K, 100K, 60K, 175K, 300K. These are all obviously very high potential products to be tested. Let me just click play on this one right here. So this looks like it is some sort of foot massager. Let me click on their website. This is what's called an advertorial, which is something I was talking about in the beginning of the video. This is essentially a sales page that you make in Funnelish yourself, but it looks like it's an article. And this is what's absolutely crushing in 2026. And as you can see, I don't understand a word of what this page says. This is in Italian, I think, yes. So they are selling in the Italian market, which is a very good market to be selling in, by the way. But this is essentially a foot massager that completely reduces pain, swelling, burning, tingling, numbness in your feet. Then let's click to the sales page and see what they are selling it for. They're selling it for around $80. I would try to sell it for a little bit less than that. But this is a very good product to test. And this is just the first thing that we found. Then let's look at this product right here. So this video doesn't want to play for some reason. You can still download it. But this is also something for women above 40, I think is what it says. It has 400,000 reach, which is insanely high, especially for a relatively small market like Germany. Let's click on the website and see what it is. Okay, again, an advertorial. And it looks like these are panties against period or something, period blood. But this is a massive problem that older women have. Bladder leaks, actually. It's not even for period. Guys, I'm sorry, I know this is disturbing, but your grandma is wearing this right now, literally. But she could instead be wearing this. This is a massive problem for older women. And guys, these women are looking for solutions to these problems. So let's click on the sales page. Looks super clean. $40 for some panties. That's a massive profit margin, of course. And by the way, I have been selling this product for the last year. Every few months, I turn on these ads again and then it starts printing again. So this is another massive, massive winner. I think this has even more potential than the first product that I showed you guys. So test this out right now. As you can see, they have based their template on my funnel template that I've been sharing for the past 2.5 years on YouTube. Has a massive reach, and this is exactly what we're gonna be testing as well. But now that you know how to find your products, of course, it's still massively important to understand how you create your website. Because this, as you can see, is clearly not Shopify, and there are some things to learn from this. And if you test your product the wrong way, you can still end up with the perfect product, but have $1,000 spent on Facebook ads with 0 sales. So you have to build your website through Funnelish. Shopify obviously works, but for health, beauty, and gadgets, Funnelish works 5 times better. This is just reality. And here are some examples of some funnels of mine. So these are literally separate funnels with the revenue and the conversion rate that I've done with them. With this advertorial, we've done 200 grand with a 4% conversion rate. With this decompression belt, 200K with 2.7 conversion rate. And then with this bee venom serum, 170,000 in revenue with almost 7% conversion rate. This is literally unseen on Shopify. This amount of revenue with such a high conversion rate, you have to understand how much profit we've made from this. And I will be dropping this exact funnel template for you guys in the description. But let's go over this template so you also understand why this works instead of just copy pasting it. So this is what one of these products looked like. This was the bee venom serum, as you can see, 170 grand with 7.6 conversion rate. And we were selling this mainly in Germany. Now, I have translated this for you so you can all understand what it says. And as you can see, this looks super clean, but what's the most important about creating a funnel is that you show the emotions very well and the benefits of the product. Because no one gives a shit, honestly, about the technical features of a product. No one cares really what ingredients are in here. No one cares how many milliliters of liquid are in this bottle. What people care about are the results. And the results should be shown visually, very clearly, and also by your copywriting. So that is how we created this image. This shows an older looking woman with wrinkles compared to her younger looking women. And here again, another before and after. Remove all the wrinkles. And then we make bold promises with our copywriting. Look 10 years younger in just 7 days. It is bold, and you can choose yourself how bold you want to be, but this worked for us like crazy. What also works is having a bunch of benefits right here above the add to cart button. And the more specific your benefits are with a very clear time frame, the better they're gonna work. So example, 10 years younger in 7 days reduces 87% of wrinkles. Not 100%, 87. It's a very specific number and sounds way more believable. Now what's another massive pain point of someone who wants to look younger? They are comparing any product to Botox. Now what is Botox? Very invasive. It's an injection in your face and it's expensive. So we say no injections, no surgery. And last but not least, what's important with these products that promise a massive result is that you say no results, money back. And then of course, just watch your guarantee. You have a specific guarantee and be strict with it, and then anyone will buy your product. Now, am I some copywriting genius and a graphic designer? I'm both not. I actually suck at both. But what I don't suck at is ChatGPT. And this whole funnel was built with ChatGPT. And you can click the link in the description below to find my full funnel building tutorial with which I use ChatGPT for both the copywriting and the images. So you then have the template, you have AI prompts for the images, and you have AI prompts for the copywriting. So you can recreate this funnel immediately for any product in a couple hours. So even without any experience, you can start with this. But let's keep going down and see what the funnel looked like. We always have a combination of a very aggressive headline, a GIF or an image, which we usually take from the ad or we create with AI. And this paragraph is again purely generated with ChatGPT. We just ask it to generate a supporting paragraph for this headline, click on enter, and boom, we have a paragraph. But the same principle applies. You should just talk about the benefits and not the technical features. If we then go down, we have some testimonials. What's really important about these testimonials is that you talk to 3 different customer avatars. Again, we did this with ChatGPT, but if you read these, you will see that they're talking to 3 completely different customer types. Here we are talking to a busy mom. Here we're talking to someone who has acne scars. And here we're talking to someone who doesn't believe in magical products. 3 completely different personas, so we can have as many customers relate to this as possible. Then this is what the checkout looks like. This is also a massive benefit of using Funnelish versus Shopify. You have your bundle selection, you have your delivery address, and you have your payment selection all on one page instead of the 3-step checkout that Shopify has. Massively reducing friction, massively increasing conversion rate, massively increasing the money in my pocket. But this is all included in the template that you can get for free in the description below. Now let's talk about advertising, because as I said in the beginning, we used to only advertise on Facebook ads, but this has changed. We now also advertise on Pinterest ads, but this is only about 20% of our total revenue. We still mainly advertise on Facebook ads, and the strategy is super simple. We'll go over that in a minute. But what we don't advertise on, and what is very popular these days, are Google ads, TikTok ads, and Twitter ads. Well, Twitter ads, I don't really think anyone talks about that because that just doesn't work anyways. Google ads and TikTok ads, they do work, but not with this strategy. Google ads can definitely work, but there's just so many other problems that come with Google ads. And Google ads also has a lower scalability than Facebook ads does. So we prefer to not even look at Google ads. Too much hassle, you can't scale as high, a lot of rejects, and TikTok ads won't even allow you to publish any of these beauty products. So still, yes, in 2026, the king is Facebook ads. And this of course includes Instagram. And then for 20% extra revenue with a high profit margin, you can also advertise on Pinterest. This is what I would do if I would go to 1K a day in just 45 days, when starting from absolute zero. And then, by the way, we're gonna also discuss how you would go to 10K a day. But let's start with the basics first. You have to obviously do your setup first. You have to set up a company, and this can be any company that you want, but I would always recommend you go for a UK limited company. And this whole setup you have to do in 2 weeks. This can be done in 2 weeks. This can also be done in 1 week, but it's important to give yourself a deadline, and I would not give you a deadline of more than 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you set up your UK company, you set up a bank account, Revolut, you buy your first domain name, you create your first Shopify store, you set up your Funnelish account and you link it to Shopify, you create a Facebook ad account setup, you get some agency ad accounts ready, and that's your whole setup process, which again can easily be done in 2 weeks, but then you're ready to start with this strategy. Before that, you're not ready yet. But this is the checklist of things you need to prepare first. Now, after you have done the setup of your company, you have to start testing 1 product a day from week 3. and I would recommend you start in just a single EU market. You can choose Netherlands and Belgium, or you can choose Germany, or you can choose Sweden. These are the easiest 3 markets to start with as a complete beginner. Just get a Stripe account, get a PayPal account, and you're good. But give yourself the rule that you have to test 1 product every single day. Again, you need some urgency. You need to set rules with yourself, otherwise nothing is gonna happen. And if you test 1 product a day, it's very likely that after 45 days you will have found your first winning product. Now, how do you test a product on Facebook ads? Super quickly, super simply. You set up a $100 CBO with 1 ad set with 5 to 10 creatives. Where do you find these creatives? You just rip them from the competitor in the beginning. It's completely fine. Copy the video from Afterlip, click on download right here and translate it. Find a couple more videos like it and then you're good. If your product works, you scale it every single day with 20%. If it doesn't, you move on to the next product. Now, for a full tutorial on Facebook ads, just check out this PDF in the description below. But now comes the serious stuff. How to scale to more than 10K a day in revenue. I'm gonna be honest, going from 0 to 1K a day in revenue is absolutely the hardest part in dropshipping, because you're juggling everything, you're learning every single skill and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, and you're most likely going to 1K a day by accident. Now, once you hit your 1K a day, it is relatively easy to continue on 1K a day and to use that money and put those profits in your pocket. Now, obviously you want to reinvest those profits so you can actually scale to 10K a day. And these are going to be the exact steps on how to scale from 1K a day to 10K a day. And I'm even going to show you how I was able to hit a 10K profit day. The first and most important thing to scale to 10K a day is obviously outsourcing your work. You cannot be building your own funnels anymore. You cannot be editing your own videos or images anymore. You cannot do your own customer service, and you can also not be uploading your ads to Facebook yourself anymore. These are super simple tasks that you can very easily outsource to an online virtual assistant. I hire all my team members for my dropshipping business from the website called onlinejobs.ph. PH stands for the Philippines, and there you can really find top talent, especially for dropshipping, for a really cheap price. I pay my team always $4 to $5 per hour, and their salaries grow from there. But make sure you start around 4 an hour. Now, who do you hire at first? As I already said, the first hire you want to make is your funnel builder. Then you want to hire a video editor / image editor who makes your ads. Then you want to hire a customer service person, because of course you don't want to be replying to angry customer emails all day, every day. Not only is it a complete waste of time, but also the negativity that is sitting in your inbox is draining. So you absolutely have to outsource this as well. And the last hire you want to make to go to 10K a day is a Facebook manager. Who is a Facebook manager? It is going to be someone who will upload your Facebook testing campaigns. So set up the campaigns and click on launch in the Facebook Ads Manager. And they're also going to be managing your entire Facebook setup. So if a profile gets banned, for example, they would need to replace that profile. Now, it is not as simple as just finding these people online and saying you're hired. Obviously, to manage a team, you need a couple things. First of all, proper solid SOPs, standard operating procedures. This Facebook ad strategy cheat sheet is the perfect example of what an SOP should look like. Both the funnel building part, the customer service part, the video editing part, and the uploading of the testing campaigns to Facebook's part, what a sentence, they are all very easy to write down step by step in a Google Doc. Almost nothing really changes when doing these tasks. So you can very easily write a step-by-step document that your team can use to follow the instructions of. Obviously, you're still going to do calls with your team, you're still going to do quality checks, and you're still going to have them improve. But you need to write down solid SOPs before you hire anyone. The second thing you need to manage your team, of course, is a way of communicating. You can use either Slack, but fuck Slack, I don't know why it exists. I prefer Discord. And Discord is absolutely perfect to communicate with your team because you can make separate channels per job. You can have a general channel, you can call with your team on Discord, you have a chat that saves forever, and it's a very easy way of communicating with your team. Now, lastly, to track everything and to have an overview of what happens in your business, we are going to be using Sheets, Google Sheets. You have endless work management tools like Trello or ClickUp or Asana or Monday, and I still prefer to this day Sheets. My whole business doing 30 to 40K a day runs in Sheets. You want to track everything that you're testing, you want to track obviously the products that you're going to be finding, you want to separate which team member is working on what, and I can do a whole video on actually the backend of how I manage my team in the future. Let me know in the comments if you would want that. I'm sure that this would be pretty valuable, but just remember that we have everything in Sheets. sheets. Now, after hiring your first team members, you want to expand to new markets, because one market is not going to be enough to go to 10K a day. Now here highlighted are the best markets in my opinion to this day to add to your markets. So I would recommend you guys to start in the Netherlands and Belgium, but then you want to add any of these other markets. The ones that I highlighted, like Sweden, Germany and the UK, are the ones that are working the best for me today, but this changes from time to time. So maybe if you're watching this video in 6 months from now, these markets will have changed. This is just a list of all the markets that we would consider running in, and the highlighted ones are the best to add right after the Netherlands and Belgium. Now to go to 10K a day, I would recommend you are active in 3 markets. So this could be Netherlands, Belgium, Germany and UK. This could also be Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark and Finland. For you watching right now, I would recommend Netherlands, Belgium, Germany and UK. If you're active in these 3 markets, you should easily be able to hit 10K a day. Now what does it mean to be active in 3 markets? It means to test one product every single day in all 3 markets. So you would, for example, test this bee venom cream, but then in 3 different languages in 3 different markets. You would have 1 store per every market and then test one and the same products in all 3 markets. And then you just repeat that every single day, 1 product per 3 markets. And one funnel builder should be able to handle this amount of work. Now it's not as easy as just testing 1 product a day in 3 markets, then finding some winners and just scaling them. No, in this day and age, you need to test new creatives every single day for your winning products. You need to keep filling up those winning campaigns with creatives, otherwise they're just gonna die out. So how do you test new creatives? Well, the first option is to copy straight from competitors. So for example, for this bee venom cream, if I type this in right now on the Facebook ad library or in Afterlip, I'm sure I'll find a bunch of creatives that I have never tested yet. What you can also do is identify what the function is of your product. For example, this is an anti-aging serum, and then type in anti-aging serum in the ad library or in Afterlip, and you will find a bunch of creatives where they will be exactly usable for this product, except maybe in the first few seconds they show a different bottle. But then you can still use them for this product if you just change up the hook. So that's how you can find new creatives very easily. What you can also do is research winning ad concepts from competitors and remake them for your own product using AI. So for example, you can go on Afterlip and you can find any winning ad for any type of product, and you can identify the structure of that ad, especially if it is an image ad and it is absolutely being scaled. With AI, you can use that structure of that winning image ad, but then with your product. Believe me, ChatGPT can do absolutely everything, and you can also feed this document right here to your AI with a bunch of winning concepts. I'll make sure that this document is in the description below, but these are a bunch of winning creative concepts. And if you feed this to your AI, it will know better how to make a proper winning creative without some crazy prompt. This is an example of an initial creative that we found, we copied and it worked. And then we asked AI to create an iteration on this creative, and this is what it created. And this creative in and of itself was also massively scalable based off of this winning creative and this document. Now, once you identify a winning product, you want to make sure you add 5 to 10 new creatives every single day in the same campaign, but inside a new ad set. And if you do all that, guys, believe me, sooner or later you will hit 10K a day in revenue. And if not, then there's something wrong somewhere in your business. It might be that your funnel builder's quality is shit. It might be that your video editor is delivering below quality. It might be that your win rate is just very low because you're choosing the wrong products. It might be that you're not testing enough creatives. But if you focus on all these things right here and you make sure that the quality stays high and you don't just test random nonsense products, you should hit 10K a day very fast. And what do you do from there? You make more profit, you hire more people, you expand on your existing team, a second funnel builder, a second video editor, more customer service people, maybe later on a media buyer who does the ads management for you. You test more products, you expand to more markets. It is literally that simple. And then what happens is this right here. You will go to maybe 10K profit days. I've laid out already all the puzzle pieces. From there, it's just literally expanding upon them and maintaining your quality. That is also one of the most important things when scaling and one of the easiest things to let go of. But I've given you the metrics. 1 product a day in 3 markets should result in 10K a day in revenue. This is from our business, but I want to show you that I'm not the only person doing this. This is just a result from one of our students a couple days ago. As you can see, 10K profit in 3 days in just the Netherlands and Belgium. So just to remove your limiting beliefs, this guy is doing almost 10K a day solely in the Netherlands and Belgium with 36 to 40% profit margins. But this is not a beginner. This person has been in the mentorship for 1 year already. This person, however, is an absolute beginner. I think this is his third month and he just hit a 7.7K euro day. And he's mentioning that he didn't even scale that high yet because he wants to keep Stripe happy. That means he's probably running off of a 30% profit margin at least in a single day as a complete beginner. This is also not a beginner, but he just closed out 2025 with a 80K euro day. I hope you understand that that's absolutely insane. And it's not like we are doing fashion dropshipping with 5% profit margins. No, usually we are running on 20 to 30% in net profit, all from this exact strategy. There's literally nothing different than what I just explained to you. It's just all being executed on a higher scale. Now, of course, in this short video, I could not leave in every single detail, but that is why I have this free course right here. And before you scream free course, that's bullshit, blah, 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 I have no paid course. This is my full free course. It is more than 4 or 5 hours long right now, I think. As you can see, we have 40,000 members and it's the real deal. I update it almost every single week. The link is in the description. I want you to join right now and try out this strategy, because if you don't, you just completely wasted your time watching this video. And for the people who are already on some numbers or the people who want to do it 10 times faster, there is a one-on-one mentorship with me and my team. We even have a 0 to 10K per month profit guarantee because the strategy works as I just showed you and we are so confident in it. Now, for that guarantee to even be possible, we also don't let in everyone, not at all. But if you want to find out if you're qualified, go to this page right here, ecomliberty.org. Link is in the description below. Watch this video and see how to apply. And let's change some lives with dropshipping, because it's still possible. It is actually more easy than ever. This is the entire strategy that I'm doing today. Just make sure you apply this as fast as possible.